Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. It's Meredith and I am here today with a video to share for my design team project for Ruby and Pearl. Happy Ruby Tuesday. You can follow all of the amazing creators listed below at their YouTube and Instagram channels so you can see how fun all of the different projects are. And I'm just so honored to be part of this design team. Absolutely love working with Heather's papers. So today I have a super fun journal that started out as one thing and then sort of just morphed into something else. I don't know if that ever happens to you, but I have created a trifold journal that has two signatures and a little topper. And it kind of started out as with the wildflowers kit, and then somehow just kind of morphed into a little bit more of a butterfly kit. But there is tons of florals in here and lots of fun trims and some very vintage items. It is definitely one of a kind, and I'm super excited about it. So let's just go ahead and jump in. So for the topper I have, well, first of all, it's very chunky. And so I tied it together with this beautiful sort of seafoam chiffon material. I have a lot of items in here that, excuse me, there's a string, a thread, were gifted to me by an absolutely wonderful follower. And so I'm slowly starting to try to part with some of these vintage items and include them in my journals and just use them because they are so beautiful. So this was a little remnant that was included. So on the top, I have this beautiful butterfly girl who is riding in her shell and led by these gorgeous butterflies. And I decided to make a little dangle here with one of the trims from the wildflower collage piece. So this just clips on here, and it's just very basic. It can be used as a journaling card or just as the topper. If you wanted to include some writing on the back, you could totally do that with a darker pen. And then this comes off. And then in here, I have a wraparound pocket concept going on here. So it goes all the way around the journal and into the back flip. So we'll get to that. And this pops out. This is a nice little tag with some of the butterflies, and so gorgeous. The papers are absolutely stunning, and this is a nice sturdy tall tag. So that pops in here. This is some stretchy lace I got at, I think, Hobby Lobby years ago. I just remembered I had it, so I decided to pop it in. But anyway, also, can we just take a moment with this absolutely stunning paper? So I kind of collaged this together for the back, and I just lost a piece that was in the center. So hold on just a second. Okay, so we have lots of movable parts in this journal. Anyway, I created it with a green file folder, lots of age tape, and it's super fun, and it is very chunky. So in the front, I just included one of the beautiful ladies. There's some really awesome, very whimsical black and white photographs included in the Wildflowers kit. And I did use other papers, which will be listed below. So in here, I've actually used a lot of her little, the little cutouts. And I don't know why I can never remember what the name of the kit is. Oh, I think they're called petite strips. And then these are just some nice little tags. Isn't that butterfly just gorgeous? And then lots of journaling space on the back. And these just tuck in. This is, those are both printed on the presentation paper, so they're not super bulky, which is nice. And then here, on the first signature, I have one of the petite strips and a little bling in the back. And then I just popped on this little cute journaling card with some Edith Holden backing. Try to use the Edith Holden pages when I use them in different ways. I keep all the scraps so I can use them to back papers. This is one of the journaling cards from the Wildflowers kit, and I just added a little stamp from Tailor Made Journals. Lorna has the best stamps. And then more of that gorgeous, gorgeous rosy wallpaper. And as you flip over, this is just a little kind of wraparound journaling card with a tuck. Isn't she just so pretty? and then that stays clipped on like so. And then I tucked in a nice little double-sided book page. This is Italian, and that tucks in here. These pages are from the Vintage Script collection. Pretty sure this is from either Chickadee or the Butterfly Girl kit. And I have a little tuck here, and I've got some fun things tucked in. So this is one of the black and whites from the Wildflowers kit, as is this little just kind of remnant. And then I tucked in some watercolor paper, and this is a very vintage French postcard that was just tucked in my pack from Jeannie. So sweet. So those all get tucked in here. I'll do that later. And then, so this is our first signature, and this is just a journaling card. Such gorgeous papers. I did a little embossing here on the Edith Holden. I thought these colors went so well together. It almost looks like it was meant to be. Another little petite strip. Try to use those when I can. I had some fun with vellum. I've been trying to add a little bit more vellum into my projects lately, and so I thought the butterflies were a great way to do that. And this is part of one of the collage pieces, the black and white butterfly. So this is the center, and then here we have another gorgeous little image. It's so sweet. It's hard to tell if that's a mother and daughter or maybe sisters. Love it. So gorgeous. And then here is one of the kind of faux Polaroids. And I love that. Make-A-Wish on the dandelions. And then here is one of the collage papers. And then I just attached some brown writing paper on the back. And then this is, I think it's La Flora, but I can't remember. I'll come back and make sure I know. This flips out, and here I did a little kind of snippet pad, lots of scrappies in here, some French dictionary page. There's more of that brown paper so this could all come apart and be used in the journal, or you can just use it as like the little notes. So that just tucks in here. Try not to tack everything down because it's nice to be able to move things around in the journal. Here's the other side of that bottom tuck, and nice journaling card. And then this is one of the ephemera pieces that I got in a massive box, and I believe it's the Railway Company. Looks like New York, Ontario. Kind of fun. And it was oops, sorry. This tag is maybe a little too big for that pocket. I will fix that. And then here I just collaged this image onto the page and added a little bit of lace. And then here, this pops open and flips out. So you have all this space here. Those are the fancy ledgers. I love, love, love this so much. And then I did a little double-sided printing. Here is some more of the French script, and I aged it. And then this is from Yellow Rose. Oh, that's what it is. This is from Yellow Rose also, as is this. I knew I'd remember. There are so many kits to remember. This trim also, and this here is from the kit, or the little goodie box that I got from Jeannie. All right, so this is why it's a trifold. So this part is the second signature and folds in like so, but I'm going to open it up first because I have a center section here. And this is kind of just a free-floating giant tag, and I have this gorgeous trim from the Lavish Laces. I'm having trouble enunciating today. Sorry, guys. And I just kind of did like a little flip-down pocket. I didn't want to crowd the signatures anymore, and I actually probably should have made the signatures a little smaller. But anyway, enough of the talk. So nice, tall, sturdy tag, and just did some collaging. And then this piece comes out, and I have another image on the back. So pretty. So you can have this side or this side, whichever you like. And that tucks back in there. And then on the other side, I did, this is on the linen paper. This is the presentation paper, and then this is the linen paper. You can kind of see the difference. And I just did a little flip up. This is some very old, like piano roll kind of paper, so I thought I'd make that like a little secret journaling spot. This could literally be used as a writing board if you took the ladies off. So that tucks in there. And then here I did something kind of fun. I was talking about the vellum earlier and decided to do a little cutout. So you have a little interactive butterfly on the top. And then I did a little watercoloring on this guy just to give it a little bit of pop. And this is just like one of my favorite pages in the whole Wildflowers kit. It's so gorgeous. And I think this is from Rosie. And then this flips out, so you have a nice big page here, both sides. And I tucked on some goodies. So this is just one of the journaling cards, and it's blank on the back, so you can use that in the journal. And then this I had that tucked over. And I believe this is from the blue and green documents. So that's a receipt, and then I did, this is from Seaside Dreams, I think, that I had enlarged. And then inside I have tucked in this Hardware Iron Company, and look how it's folded. It's like not even folded correctly. It's like they just kind of haphazardly folded it. So I thought that looked really fun in there, and so yeah, that just tucks on. I will refold that and figure that out in a bit. For now, we'll just do that. And then here I have another little sweet journaling card that I did a little bit of collaging on the back. More of that gorgeous wallpaper. And this is another little flip out, and I tucked in a full Edith Holden page with the bumblebees. That's one of my favorites. And then this gorgeous grasses and bindweed in the back. And then here, this wallpaper is from Raspberry Rose. And then this beautiful image is from the Wallpapers kit. One of those gorgeous butterflies that tucks in there. Oops, I lost my, my clip. It's been sort of a silly day. I forgot to mention, by the way, also I have some very exciting news. My son, Elijah, he's son number 2, child number 3, got engaged over the weekend. So it's been very crazy here, and their wedding is going to be in August already. So super exciting. This is a little journaling card I just stapled on, and this is the center of the signature. So this is where I did a little bit more fun with the vellum. And this could totally be tacked down, but I thought I would let the person that would like this journal to figure out how they want to use this. You could tack it here and then have this be like a little tuck spot or whatever. Just kind of fun, something different. Here I have the darling little doggy. Looks like a golden retriever with his special people, and I just tucked in this little boss tag and some remnants that I've had laying around for journaling. Here's the back of that Raspberry Rose, so gorgeous. Added a little fun cluster there. And then here, this is a flip out, and it can go this way as well. And then inside, I added a little offcut from some vellum and some French poetry, and then a journaling card. So that all snuggies in right here. If I can get it to line up. And this image is just so stunning. I'd love to know. I think she's watching her children over here. So pretty. Beautiful, beautiful. That tucks on there. And then here is the back of the trifold. And I just made this little kind of extra journaling piece. This tucks in here. And then you can flip it open and have lots of secret journaling spot. And I didn't want to cover up the back because I just love that. It's so gorgeous. One of my favorite images from the Yellow Rose kit. And then here on the back, this fun rusty clip is from my box of goodies that was sent to me, and I did a super tall journaling tag, and very sturdy, also could be like a writing board. And then on the back I added that piano roll kind of paper, and I thought it would be nice to have it open all the way up. I just didn't want to tear any of it off because it's so gorgeous. I love the feel of it. It's really silky and smooth. So this tucks in here, and then we have our clip on the back, and then this is the back. So something could totally be tucked in here. Could store, little journaling cards or whatever, but it is pretty chunky and definitely will not stay open without being tied. But it is a beautiful journal just to have to look at and play with, and I hope you love it. And I'm going to be getting ready for a challenge that's starting tomorrow with the spring collab with Lydia Raindrop Lila put together, and I know lots of you are going to be part of that too. So the rest of my day is devoted to getting ready for that. But I'm so glad you could join me today for my design team project for Heather, Ruby, and Pearl. I hope you love it, and leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite part is of the journal. And if you're interested in purchasing, please email me at the link below. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.